Thanks very much, thanks very much. It is a pleasure to be speaking to you this evening. Wasn't the music fantastic? Anyone else secretly enjoying a little bit of Justin Bieber in there? Is that just me? Just me, okay. Look, it is officially Christmas. I find that very exciting. I'm one of those people who gets proper hype for Christmas. I've got my Christmas jumper with me, but just like Joey and his turkey hat, I was absolutely cooking, so I've had to take it off. But I did this little poll at the 5 p.m, and I was very disappointed with the results, so I'll just try it again here. Give me a little whoop if you've got a Christmas jumper tonight. Okay, slightly better. Now give me a little whoop if you think that it's too soon for Christmas jumpers. Scrooges, you're wrong. You're wrong. Look, my name's John. Pleasure to be speaking to you this evening. 3 things that you need to know about me, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know me. The first is I'm married to Izzy, who's the most amazing woman in the whole world, and we're expecting our first baby at the moment, which is super exciting. Thank you. Thanks. Wasn't expecting a round of applause, but I'll take it. And actually, we found that going through sort of Christmas time, really, and Advent, whilst expecting a baby, has given us a whole new perspective on it, so that's been great. The second thing you need to know about me is that I'm a banker. I'm sorry, I'm not a bad person, okay? So just bear with me. Thanks. There's someone else in the financial services over there. That's great, thank you. The third thing, and the most important thing for us here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I say this in complete and utter seriousness, is that I am a member of a Christian hip-hop duo called Beat Convention, and once had my rap featured on Songs of Praise. Would you like to hear the story? That's good, because you're getting it either way. So it all starts with a friend of mine called Andy. And Andy and I were in a band together at university, and when it came time to graduate, we all went our separate ways. We went to get sensible jobs, or at least most of us did. Andy's training to be a vicar, but most of us went to get sensible jobs. Was that really booze? Okay. Yeah, no, we're feeling good for the clergy. That's great. So we all went our separate ways, and the band split up. And to help us, thank you, to help us deal with that hardship, Andy and I formed this little hip-hop spin-off called Beat Convention. You following me so far? Great. Now, the other thing you need to know about my friend Andy is that he creates a Christmas single every year. He's done it for many years. It's called the Andy Dykes Christmas Single. Still following me? Great. So one year, Andy came to me and he said, John, I would like to do the Christmas single as Beat Convention. We'll do a little hip-hop thing. And I thought that would be fantastic, Andy. So we took a carol, we remixed it. I wrote some rap, Andy rapped it. We made a music video, we released it to the world, and the world did not care. I think it's fair to say. The world did not care. But we were quite aggressive in pushing it on social media. Andy was actually the chaplain for Carlisle University at the time, so he was just ramming it down the students' throats. And eventually, we got about 1,000 views. Nothing to write home about, but it must have been a slow news day in Cumbria that day, because ITV Borders picked this up. They found it hilarious that the local university chaplain was also a rapper, and so they decided to feature Beat Convention on ITV Borders. They called the segment Christmas Rapping. You see what they did there? Very clever. And in this little segment, they called Beat Convention, my little hip-hop duo, an internet sensation, with over 1,000 views online. Now, there are videos of cats on YouTube with literally billions of views, but I didn't want to burst their bubble. And it turns out that Songs of Praise watch ITV Borders, because later that week, Andy and I got an email saying, guys, if you do another Christmas rap in 2014, we'll feature it on our Christmas Songs of Praise special. Now, there are times in life where you get offers that you just can't refuse. And that was one of those times, ladies and gentlemen. And so I found myself in a cold, wintry November in Carlisle, which it turns out is the UK capital of the Christian Christmas hip-hop underground scene, watching my friend Andy rap a rap that I had written about the Christmas story and being filmed by Songs of Praise. Are you still following me? Great. And after he'd rapped this rap, which talked about all aspects of the Christmas story, so the stuff that we've heard from the Bible this evening, the stuff that's light and the stuff that's dark, he was asked this question by Pam, the Songs of Praise lady, who was doing a little interview with him. Pam, the Songs of Praise lady, said, Andy, why do the lyrics of the rap focus on the dark side of Christmas? Why do the lyrics of the rap focus on the dark side of Christmas? Great question, Pam. The thing is, when it comes to Christmas, I think we're generally quite familiar with the story, aren't we? We go to school nativities and we have this little picture in our head. Probably looks a little bit like the picture on the screen behind me. You've got Mary and Joseph. You've got baby Jesus in the manger. You've got the stable. Maybe in the picture that you've got in your head, you might have some animals. You might have some wise men. You might have some shepherds. There's even snow in this picture. Not sure that that's historically accurate. But do you know what? Snow to one side, there's a lot of truth in that picture. There is a whole lot in the Christmas story that is light and joyful. There's a whole lot in the Christmas story that's safe and cozy and warm, and that's really important. And we heard one of those sides to the story read earlier in the shepherds and the story of the shepherds. I find it wonderful that it is these people that God chooses to reveal himself to and to tell the secret of Christmas. These were guys who were working really tough jobs, the night shift out on the hills. They would have been poor. They wouldn't have been well connected. They wouldn't have been senior in society. God did not choose to reveal himself to the powerful or the important, but he gave this amazing good news that there is a savior being born. And he gave that good news to the ordinary guys, to the shepherds. Or maybe it's Mary who gets told this astonishing truth that she's going to have a son, and it's going to be the Son of God, and that through her childbirth, God himself, the one who made the earth and loves his people, is going to step in and step close so that we might experience relationship with him. And she responds in this joy of thanksgiving and praise. It is a wonderful thing. So much of the Christmas story is like that. It is light. It is joyful. It's cozy and safe and warm. And we would expect it to be, wouldn't we? Because it's good news, right? It is God, the all-powerful creator, not content at arm's length, but stepping close to his people so that we might have relationship with him. It's a thing of joy. But when we actually get into the Bible story and we just test that familiarity that we have with the Christmas time, we see that there are some dark sides to Christmas, actually. Mary was probably about 15 when she had Jesus. She's a teenage mum, giving birth in a stable. Just think about that, actually. With no medical support, no midwife, in a town that was not her own town. No friends, no family. And, Mary and Joseph had to travel 5 days from Judea to Bethlehem to get there. 5-day donkey ride, or probably on foot. Actually, there is no donkey in the Christmas story, sorry. But I got to tell you, my wife is 35 weeks pregnant today. If I told her that I had organized a surprise 5-day donkey tour of the Middle East, she's lovely, but she'd be grumpy about that idea. There's lots in the Christmas story that when we take a step back and look at it with fresh eyes, it's not quite as comfortable and cozy as we perhaps thought. And we see that most starkly in that reading that we had just a little earlier. That before Mary and Joseph's little boy was even a toddler, they had to leave their home and become refugees in Egypt because the local king was so threatened by Jesus, so threatened by the fact that this little boy was going to one day grow up to be king, that he decided he was going to launch a war crime and wipe out all the little boys in Bethlehem. It is a horrible story. It is a dark story. It's really important that there's a dark side to Christmas because it tells us something very significant about God. It tells us that when God stepped into the world, he did not step into a picture-perfect postcard version of the world where everything is comfortable and safe and warm and joyful and light. He stepped into the real world. He stepped into the real world. He stepped into a world that has moments of light and moments of dark, a world that has moments of joy and moments of sorrow. He stepped into the real world where teenagers get pregnant and babies die and refugees are forced to flee their homes. And actually, whilst that feels uncomfortable, whilst it might test our understanding of the Christmas story, ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that that is very, very, very good news. Because if this whole thing is about relationship, well, if God could only have relationship with perfect people, then he couldn't have relationship with me. I don't know about you, but when I look at my life, I see that same mix of light and dark as the Christmas story. There's so much to be thankful for, so much I'm proud of, so much light and joy, but also so much that's scary, so much that's painful, so much that I'm ashamed of. And if I'm going to meet God in relationship, then I need a God who can deal with me as I am. I need a God who can handle the light and the dark in me. I need a God who can bring healing where there is pain. I need a God who can bring forgiveness where there is shame. I need a God who can shine when my life is dark. And in Jesus, at Christmas, in this baby boy, I've found one. Merry Christmas.